a compilation video on all 3 bosses in Vault of Stars and their mechanics, and we start off with the first boss. The first mechanic he'll do is his mushrooms mechanic. 3 people will be targeted with mushrooms. All you have to do is run these to an edge to stop them slowing down your team and doing a damage over time. Go back to the center and you'll see a green beam. It's important that this is intercepted or it'll get rid of one of the corpse flowers which you use to intercept this red AoE he aims at you, which can do a fair bit of damage. Once he is back, you want to go your mounts, artifacts and dailies, because this is the time where you'll get as much benefit as possible from it. And as you can see, our burn isn't too bad. At 50% health, he will disappear and he will spawn his cat. Just stand behind it and let the tank grab aggro. And then when he does that pounce mechanic, you'll see the red line that's currently linked to my back. It's important that the tank goes in between this line and the one pinned, otherwise it will one-shot them. The poison can overlap and do quite a lot of damage, so just best to stay out of that, and again the mushrooms to an edge. As you see the red line there, intercepted by the tank again. So you want to save your artifacts and mounts here, because you don't have a lot of time to do any damage before he disappears. And then when he is back, go everything and burn him down as quick as you can. And that's the first boss in Vault of Stars completed. So here we are straight onto the second boss of Vault of Stars. Go mount artifacts and dailies as soon as your tank has grabbed aggro and you're behind it, so you can do as much damage as possible. That is the first mechanic, the red AoE. Stay out of that, otherwise it will freeze you. A slightly different hypothermia mechanic, whereas if you're not grouped up with a team, rather than doing massive damage, it will freeze your whole team and you'll wipe the group. And coming up, we got 2 mechanics in quick succession. Red AoE away from the group, and it will do a singular freeze on one person. And then the cleave is just best to avoid the red AoE, or you will freeze the whole group if you get hit by it. Once everyone is targeted by red AoEs, it's best to wait until the last possible moment to move, because then that will leave all the AoE in one location, so you've got more room in the arena to play with. Then it's just a matter of doing the same mechanics, avoiding the cleaves and grouping up for the hypos and moving the single red AoEs to the centre so they don't freeze your whole group. After a cleave, it's best to do your artifacts, mounts and dailies, again to maximise the amount of damage you can do during the period. Here we are onto the last boss, and you can only damage him when he's in a certain light or dark phase. First off, it's light, so you want to use your artifacts, mounts and dailies and get him down to 50% before it changes to dark. The light is constantly moving away from us at this time, but the dark is moving towards us, so you've got to do it just before they overlap if you want to burn it down in one phase, like so. Once you've defeated this first construct, he'll spawn a circle of light where he was defeated. And you need to stand in this, otherwise you'll get a constant damage over time from the darkness. After a certain amount of time, another light portal will spawn, and that'll be just to the side of the door when you first came in. And you've got to move to that as quick as you can. tank will position the gun towards the edge, so the cleave attack can't really hit you. Then all you have to do is group up the hypos and just wait until it's positioned into the light. This one is slightly different to the first construct, where it's light for the first 33% of its health, then it's dark for 33%, and then light for the final 33%. And just burn it as quick as you can. Then you have to deal with less mechanics. Again, when the boss dies, he'll spawn another light circle, and you need to stand in this, while grouping up for any hypos that are still active. Now the last golem is 25% light, 25% dark, 25% light, 25% dark. But this time he will drop black holes in, which will suck you in and do a constant damage over time to you when you're near. And this, with the hypo, can do massive amounts of damage to you, so it's best to try and burn it as quick as you can